Good morning, everyone. Now, when we were kids, we always wanted bigger, better houses. And I'm thinking, when I was younger as well, I wanted a peaceful home, a big home, a huge mansion. But as we grow older, we realize how hard it is to keep your families together and secure a safe place for our families. So we like to express our respects to all the parents and heads of the household who have taken care of our families throughout the years. Now, everyone has different feelings about their homes. For some people, home is where they feel safe and stable, but for some people, it's a place where they feel trapped or stuck and they'd rather spend time traveling. But really, at the end, we all look forward to coming home. And for people who are on journeys or trips at this time, we hope that you come home safely. Now, with that said, we have the perfect song for the first song for our show. This is Michael Bublé with Home. What a wonderful song to start our show. That was Michael Bublé with Home. And you guys are now tuned into What's Poppin' with Brian Ju on TBS efm 101.3 in Seoul and its surrounding areas, GFN 98.7 in Gwangju, and 93.7 in Yeosu. Now, a couple of things I want to remind you guys. If you want to send us an email, and of course, this week and last week, we're talking about hope and, encouragement. So we hope that you guys send words of encouragement, maybe a little prayer that I can read over next week. Send that to our email, which is efmpoppin@gmail.com. Or if you just want to say a sweet message to us and just say how well we're doing, we'd love to listen or hear from our listeners, of course. If you want to check out our playlist, come to our website to tbsefm.soul.kr/efm/what's poppin'. And if you haven't already, please follow us on Twitter and send tweets as much as possible at TBS What's Poppin'. But for now, word from our sponsors. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for today's pick. Now, an occasion for today is going through ups and downs, and I think many listeners, and especially Koreans, are going through a lot for the last week. Now, sometimes, we're happy that we're alive, and the weather is beautiful. Then all of a sudden, we feel guilty and feel sad about what's happening. So we brought a few tips on how to deal with quick ups and downs. First of all, the very important thing, learn to love yourself. Loving yourself never means that you're being selfish. In fact, it helps you to always think positive about yourself. Whenever you feel down, it will help you, boost up your confidence once again. And if you love yourself, you'll be able to believe in yourself. Also, remember that you will always know what is best for yourself more than anyone else. And once you learn how to love yourself, you can learn to love others as well. Spend some time alone. By doing this, you will have time to think about the problems you're facing. And when you spend time alone, ask yourself a few questions which will help you solve the problems. Like, first of all, what is the problem? Now, how can I solve the problem? What's the worst thing that can happen? And how can you handle the situation? Now, ask these questions to yourself during your alone time. And you'll certainly get the confidence to solve your problem by yourself. Number 3, try containing the negatives, the negative thoughts and information on sad news. You can try containment techniques by writing in a journal or even writing notes on your thoughts and information and put it in a box so you can come back to it when you feel more relaxed and more peaceful. Now, it's because your brain also needs a break. So instead of feeling guilty of not thinking about the reality, put it in a box and come back to it later. And remember, while you're doing all that, make sure you remember that you're very unique and we all go through these ups and downs, so you're not alone. So the next song is perfect for all you guys with your quick ups and downs. This is Craig David with Rise and Fall. That was Craig David featuring Sting with Rise and Fall. Now, you have noticed, or pretty much have noticed already, maybe you haven't. Now, the song was built on top of Sting's original song, Shape of My Heart, which was one of the soundtracks for the film Leon the Professional that came out in 1994. Now, if any listeners aren't familiar with this artist, and I'm sure you're familiar with his, his other hits such as Englishman in New York, Fragile, and, of course, Shape of My Heart. Now, he used to be the lead vocalist of a British rock band called The Police, but the band departed back in 1984. Now, he has varied his musical style, incorporating distinct elements of rock, jazz, reggae, classical, new age, and world beat into his music. And as a solo artist and member of The Police, he received 16 Grammy Awards, and he was also nominated at the Golden Globes for the Best Original Song for the song Shape of My Heart. Now, moving on, we have another amazing artist by the name of Brandy. Now, we talked about Brandy in our Tuesday segment, but for people who missed it, here's some information on her. Now, Brandy was born into a musical family and was raised in Carson, California. And she grew up singing gospel and began performing at public functions with a youth singing group. Now, in 1990, she started to sing backup vocals for the group Immature, and then later got signed by Atlantic Records. She also acted in a family sitcom and played a character called Moesha, which I loved growing up. Now, the show became one of the greatest hits of the course of the network's entire run. Now, whether she was singing pop-friendly urban soul or acting in her own family-oriented sitcom, Brandy's winningly wholesome persona helped catapult her stardom during her teenage years. Now, she scored the longest-running #1 female duet in chart history, and she teamed up with Monica for the song "The Boy Is Mine." And Brandy has been an inspiration to many big artists such as Erykah Badu, Rihanna, Kelly Rowland, and much, much more. And today we're going to play a song from Brandy, which is going to be the last song for our show. This is Brandy with "Should I Go?" That was Brandy with "Should I Go?" Now, the next artist debuted at about the same time Brandy started her career, and we're going to play his song from his 4th album called My Name Is Joe. Now, it became his most successful album, reaching #1 on the R&B charts and #2 on the Billboard 200. And then it eventually sold over 3 million copies. Back in 2001, his Better Days album was released, reaching #32 on the Billboard 200 and #4 on the R&B charts. However, despite all the success, Joe left his record label and claimed that R. Kelly had been sabotaging his career while they were label mates. Now, I hope and I wish that he makes more music, but for now, we're going to play one of his classics. The song is called "I Wanna Know." Alrighty, welcome back to the second half of What's Poppin'. Shortly, soon, we'll have rapper Johnny Flo joining us in the studio to give us some hip-hop tracks, and you guys won't want to miss out. So stay tuned for that. But for now, a word from our sponsors. Alrighty, welcome back to Check the Rhyme. And of course, we have our go-to guy for this segment, Mr. Johnny Flo, in the studio.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Johnny. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Alrighty. Of course, all the depressing news that's going on in Korea right now. And how are you handling that?
I think I don't think I'm in a position to really, I guess, not handle it well. I don't, it's kind of hard to explain, I guess, because I'm not really in their shoes, but I guess I'm trying to.
That's true. And that's the worst thing to say. That's the worst thing to say was a lot of people be like, oh, I understand what you're going through. No one knows. We don't know exactly what the family's going through.
Yes.
So all we can do right now is keep hope alive and just keep praying for the families and the victims, of course.
Yes.
But right now we're going to move on, of course, to the music that, of course, Johnny Flo brought with him today. And the first artist that you brought with you is
Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean.
A very talented R&B artist.
He's a very talented R&B artist, and I feel like he's not recognized as much as all the other artists.
So you think
especially in South Korea.
Oh, in South Korea, probably. Yeah. Oh, well, he's not. He hasn't had a really long career. He debuted in 2011 or 2012, and he's my age, so he's about 26, 27.
Alrighty.
Which means that he's started his career rather late, I guess, compared to other artists.
Yeah, especially artists that you have lined up right here on this paper, like Justin Bieber. He started when he was like, a teenager.
Yeah.
So did Brandy, yeah.
And so he started his career as a ghostwriter for artists, like you said, Brandy and Justin Bieber and John Legend.
Okay.
So he wrote for these people. And I guess from that he got recognized and he started getting his own record deal and his own work in. And, I guess this is kind of ironic. We're talking about what's happening in Korea. Well, a few years ago, there's Hurricane Katrina.
Of course, yeah.
And he lived in New Orleans, so his recording facility got destroyed from this, I guess, catastrophe.
Okay.
And because of that, he had to move to LA for a few weeks to finish recording his music, but ended up getting a songwriting deal. And, there's no way to really make this sound good, but I guess in everything there's silver lining, and in everything there's hope. So I guess I didn't even mean to bring it like that, but it's kind of ironic.
It's cool.
And
Any other things about Frank Ocean you want to mention? Wait, what the song's called? Thinking About You.
Thinking About You, and it's from his debut studio album, Channel Orange, released in 2012. And actually, it wasn't originally to be featured on Bridget Kelly's debut album.
Okay.
And it was called Thinking About Forever. And before it was released, he posted it on his personal blog, like his version of the song. And I guess, obviously that's not allowed. If you agree to give the song to an artist.
If you sold it to an artist, you can't just release it.
You can't just release it on your personal blog. So he had to take it down immediately. But because it was already online and it took a life of its own, I guess Bridget Kelly or her company allowed the song to be Frank Ocean's and both Bridget Kelly's as well. So there's two versions of the song.
I kind of like that sometimes, when you have the same song but sung by different artists, preferably male and female. So you get two different vibes, different feels for the song.
And they're very different. And I guess it's a matter of preference. I like Frank Ocean's better.
Okay.
But I guess some people could appreciate Bridget Kelly's better.
All right. Well, with that said, we got to check out Frank Ocean's version of the song. He wrote this, right? I believe?
He wrote this himself.
Alrighty. This is Frank Ocean singing Thinking About You. That was Frank Ocean with Thinking About You.
He's such a great lyricist.
He's a great lyricist. I just like his mellow, chill voice vibe.
And the falsetto that he does.
Very chill, relaxed. I mean, like you said he was only like 26. In my mind, 26 is a young age. But for such a young artist, he has a very mature, warm sound, which I like a lot. Yeah.
And his lyrics too. I think he puts a lot of thoughts into it, or it's different from other people's.
Very true. Now moving on, we have the next artist, and the next artist is
the legend Nas.
Yes, we've talked about Nas a few times in the past. Now the reason why you brought this song, of course, I kind of knew ahead of time that we're going to set this song up for you guys right now, because in a way it's a song about hope. You're thinking about memories, and of course, since right now Korea is going through a lot of sadness, we just felt like this song would be a very hopeful song for a lot of people. Yes. I
mean, like you said, hope and things like that. And this song, I guess, is called Dance, and it's about his mother who has passed away, and he wanted to send her a letter, I guess. And he wrote the song dedicated to her as like one of the last songs in the album that he put this on. And his father actually featured on this to play the instrument.
Oh, cool.
At the very end.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So I know it's not like a mainstream hit, and not many people know the song, but it has great meanings into it. So I guess it was appropriate.
Now a lot of people, I feel like, will get the wrong idea because the song is called Dance. Now Nas is not talking about dance to actually get on the dance floor and start dancing.
Not to celebrate.
Exactly. But I guess it's kind of the same thing with like Luther Vandross. He had a song called Dance with My Father.
It's exactly like that. He's saying, if I could just have one more dance with you.
Oh, man. That's kind of sad, but actually hopeful as well, because because that's the thing with a lot of people who have hope, and a lot of people like me who believe, we're going to be in heaven together one day. That day can come where we're going to be together and just be happy together. And I just hope that everyone realizes that in the future we're going to see each other again.
Yeah, I mean, people could listen to this and be sad about it, but to me it's beautiful. So, and he's dedicating it to his mother, so...
Sounds cool. Now, some information about Nas that we haven't brought up in the past. Can you give all the listeners some info?
Yes, I mean, everybody knows Nas is a legend. He was born in 1973, which makes him 41 this year. Actually younger than what I thought he would be, because he's been around for such a long time, since 1994. So when he was 19.
Wow.
And
all right, so around the same age when I debuted. So I was like 19, 20.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he released 8 consecutive platinum and multi-platinum albums and sold over 25 million records.
Wow.
And that's why he's a legend. But because of his huge early to mid-career success, I guess his not so huge success afterwards kind of contrasts and can be seen as a failure. Because if you think about Nas today, people always talk about how he used to be huge and how he used to be good, but how he's not doing so well now.
That's just preference, I guess. I still think he's great. Even his new stuff sounds great.
as an artist, but I guess looking at his career, his success, or mainstream success, people say it that way, but it's really not. I think it's just contrast of how he used to be so huge, and now he's doing okay, or decent even. but people just think that it's a failure compared to what he has done in the past.
That is true. It's just thanks that people think that way, but you got to realize in the hip hop scene or any scene, music scene, there's so many new artists that come out. So that means the battle between all these bands and artists just gets harder and more difficult as the years go by. So it's not Nas is out there and he's just, in the shadows of everybody. It's just so many talented people that he's amongst. That's why a lot of people feel that way.
That's true.
But I feel like everybody is doing well off in their own way. And I still have Nas's music in my playlist.
Me too.
Till today.
Yeah.
So.
And he has 6 #1 albums, tying him with Eminem and Kanye West for second all-time among rappers.
See? You still got that title.
Exactly.
Alrighty. Well, with that said, we're going to play this song for you guys. I'm pretty sure a lot of people who have been very distraught this whole week can find hope through this song. This is Nas with Dance. That was the man, the legend, Nas with Dance.
Yes, and the instrument song at the end, that was his father playing the cornet, I think the instrument's called.
Oh, see, that's cool that the dad and the son got together to commemorate his mother who passed on.
It's a beautiful song.
Beautiful song. But moving on, we have another artist right now set up for y'all.
Yes, I can't believe I never brought these artists in before.
I know, I saw the name, I was like, you should have brought them in the past. They're that good.
That just completely slipped my mind. Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Love them, man.
Yes, hip-hop girl from Cleveland. I thought they were originally from LA, but I guess they're from Cleveland. Formed in 1992, members' names are Crazy Bone, Lazy Bone, Busy Bone, Wishbone, and Flesh and Bone. Okay. And they started their career by signing with Eazy-E, who the song is actually dedicated to the Crossroads. Okay. They scraped all their money to buy a one-way bus ticket to LA to meet with Eazy-E, just not even for a meeting, but they spent 4 hours
trying to call him.
4 months. Just to call him and get in touch with him. Okay. And ironically, they never got in touch with him, and they met up in Cleveland when Eazy-E had a show there. So they had to go back to their hometown just to meet with Eazy-E.
So wait, how did they get the money to go back to?
I don't know. I guess they brought it, or they worked or something for the past 4 months. They spent.
I hope they worked. I hope we don't do some background check and they ended up robbing a bank or something. Hopefully not. All right.
Probably not.
Probably not, because that would have been in the news, of course.
Yes.
All right, like you said, and this song, of course, came out in
1996.
1996. Okay.
Yes, and it is a Grammy Award-winning song.
It's a great song.
Yeah. It's about, I guess, their mentor and who, I guess, made their career for them. Eazy-E, when he passed away. Okay. And this is their biggest selling single ever. So
this is one of my favorite songs from Bone Thugs and Harmony.
I didn't even know it was this old, or that it released that long ago.
It's a very old song, I remember, because it came out around the time where Eazy did pass away. So we're going to play that song for you guys right now. This is Bone Thugs and Harmony with Crossroads. That was The Crossroads by Bone Thugs and Harmony. Great song, dude. Yeah. An amazing song. But right now, it is time to wrap things up. We want to thank Johnny Flo for coming in the studio. Unfortunately, it wasn't our normal, outgoing, fun jokes and stuff. Because right now, we are in a state of mourning still. Because right now, unfortunately, there aren't any news about survivors. And this whole week, there's funerals going on. Yeah. Bodies still being found. So we're just hoping, like we said, we have our fingers crossed, and we're still praying that somebody, maybe one survivor, even one would make somebody, happy, at this point. But don't be too sad, y'all, because we have Punita coming in tomorrow for our Friday segment. What was it? Say what? Yes. It's been so long since we did that. So Punita will be here. But our last song for our show today is going to be sung by Jason Mraz. The song is called I Won't Give Up. And that's pretty much what I'm not going to do. I ain't giving up. And I'm pretty sure Johnny ain't giving up.
Nope, never.
Never, y'all. Once again, this is Brian Jew and
Johnny Flo
signing off. Peace.